Hello and welcome to a fresh new episode of Science Monitor, our weekly update on all that is happening in the field of science and technology in and around the country. Today we'll talk about the newly launched weather satellite and the new evidence on human ancestry. We'll also discuss about the promotion of Hindi language for science communication. But before we step into all the details, let's take a look at the headlines first. ISRO launches Insat 3DR advanced weather satellite for meteorological data. Indian researchers trace new links in human origin. Wind patterns show changes for the first time in 60 years, baffles researchers. And in our In Focus segment today, we will discuss about the promotion of Hindi language as a medium to communicate science. And now news in detail. Taking a major step in the fields of space science along with meteorological science, ISRO on 8th of September launched Insat 3DR. Now, Insat 3DR was launched aboard the GSLV F5 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota. Insat 3DR is an advanced weather satellite which comes with a world-class imaging system and atmosphere sounder. The satellite will help collect many crucial space-related information along with the data on weather.
After the 20 satellites feat and scramjet, ISRO has nailed it once again. This time, the Indian Space Agency has launched the advanced weather satellite Insat 3DR. The advanced weather satellite has launched aboard GSLV F05 on 8th September from Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota.
Today, we have achieved one other landmark, our GSLV Mark II. The first operational flight has taken our Insat 3DR, an operational weather monitoring satellite. It has put into orbit and we're just waiting for the inputs from the satellite. But otherwise, the launch vehicle itself has performed extremely well and we have achieved the right orbit.
Insat 3DR is in line with ISRO's Insat 3D that was launched in June 2013 from French Guiana. Insat 3DR, which weighs 2,211 kgs, is an advanced weather satellite designed to provide a variety of meteorological services to the country. Insat 3DR will join the operational search and rescue service provided by Insat 3D to various users including Coast Guard, Airport Authority of India, shipping and defense services. Beside the satellite, the mission is being considered crucial in other aspects also. The mission marked the 10th flight of GSLV and the first operational flight of GSLV carrying the indigenously developed cryogenic upper stage, more popular as CUS. The GSLV F05, which carried Insat 3DR, was configured with 3 stages, including CUS similar to earlier launches GSLV D5 and D6. Upon reaching geostationary transfer orbit, the solar panels of the satellite were deployed immediately. The designed mission life of Insat 3DR is 10 years.
Although modern research has joined many missing links in the story of human origin and evolution, much needs to be studied and understood in this area. Along these lines, a team of Indo-Spanish researchers have discovered a new ancestor of mankind. In the absence of fossils, the study was conducted using DNA samples. The study, published in the journal Nature Genetics, sheds new light on human origin and evolution.
Our origin is a question that has intrigued us since time immemorial. While science has proved that our history traces back to the primitive humans who migrated out of Africa, A recent research indicates that many aspects of this theory needs more research. Yes, an Indo-Spanish research team has opened up a new chapter in the history of human evolution with the discovery of a new ancestor of man. Their study suggests that Homo heidelbergensis, the first group of men who came out of Africa, had given rise to multiple lineages, and not just the Neanderthal and the Denisovan, the two known branches from which all modern human beings have evolved. The Indian side of the team was led by Professor Partha Majumdar from National Institute of Biomedical Genomics, Kalyani, in collaboration with the Institute of Evolutionary Biology in Barcelona. In the absence of fossil records, the study included DNA analysis of 10 Andamanese individuals, which were compared with the DNA of 60 individuals from mainland Indian populations with different ethnic histories and with publicly available data from other populations. The DNA analysis of samples collected from the Andamanese tribe Jaravas and Onges suggest that though they share considerable similarities to primitive humans from Africa, they are notably different from Neanderthal and Denisovan men.
What was interesting is that we found certain segments in the Jarva and Onge genomes that we could not identify with the Neanderthal, with the Denisovan, or with contemporary human population. So what we believe is that these segments arose from one unknown hominin, one unknown human-like creature that was speculated, but no fossil has yet been found. So from genetic evidence, we now have provided genetic evidence that there was, aside from the Neanderthals and Denisovans, there was at least one other species that humans mated with, that humans crossbred with or interbred with when they came out of Africa about 80,000 years ago.
Based on the evidence, researchers suggest that these tribes might have originated from a third, so far unknown lineage of Homo heidelbergensis, other than the Neanderthal and the Denisovan man. The study contradicts the presently believed theory that Asian and Pacific populations might have followed two independent waves of migration and proves that all of them share a common African origin. The research has been published in the journal Nature Genetics.
Earth's atmosphere is made of many different layers. One among these layers is the stratosphere, the second layer, which plays a major role in the climatic changes that occur on Earth. Now, recently, NASA has collected evidence that shows that the wind patterns in stratosphere has undergone major changes. What is surprising is that, according to researchers, the change is unusual and has been observed for the first time in 60 years. So what are these changes and how were they caused? Let us see in this report.
Stratosphere, the second major layer of Earth's atmosphere that contains the ozone umbrella. Changes in the stratosphere are known to affect the climate of the Earth in many major ways. Crucial among these stratospheric phenomenon is the quasi-biennial oscillation, or the QBO. QBO refers to the wind patterns in the stratosphere. The wind patterns are known to complete one circulation in clockwise direction over Earth's surface in 28 months. QBO impacts climate and causes changes in weather patterns, and observing it helps scientists in predicting the weather changes. But the NASA team, which has been observing QBO for almost 60 years now, are in a state of surprise. For the first time in 60 years, the QBO wind pattern has changed its course. The NASA team observed that during the late 2015, the winds deviated from their regular patterns. Instead of moving in downward direction, the western winds, which usually develops at the top of stratosphere and blow downwards, started moving in upward direction. This reverse motion of westerly winds was blocking the downward motion of easterly winds. This unusual curveball motion continued for over 6 months before everything again went normal and easterly winds started blowing on top of westerly winds. Researchers suggest that it may be due to large volcanic eruptions or meteorite impacts which send particles in the stratosphere, which persist for several months. The team has also published a paper in the journal Geophysical Research Letters.
And now it is time to take a very short break. We'll be back with more science news. Keep watching Science Monitor. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Science Monitor. Let us now have a look at some important science and technology activities happening in India and abroad in our next segment, Science Express.
In a major step towards nurturing ideas and innovations into successful startups, DST has initiated the novel umbrella program called Nidhi.
तो इस निधि प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से हमारे डिपार्टमेंट के वैज्ञानिकों ने सबने मिलकर बहुत चिंतन करके ये पूरा इंस्टीट्यूशनलाइज्ड ऐसा प्रोग्राम विकसित किया है कि आइडिया को मार्केट तक पहुंचाते पहुंचाते कहीं पर भी हमारा देश का नौजवान पिछड़ ना जाए, किसी गैप के अंदर खो ना जाए और कहाँ उसके फेलियर की संभावना है उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए सब तरह का उसको सपोर्ट दिया जाए। यही हमारा निधि प्रोग्राम है।
Nidhi, which stands for National Initiative for Development and Harnessing Innovations, will focus on building an innovation-driven entrepreneurial ecosystem by promoting youth and addressing social issues in a scientific manner. According to recent reports, NASA has launched a space probe which is designed to collect and return samples from an asteroid. The space probe called OSIRIS-REx is on a 7-year mission to the 500-meter wide asteroid named Bennu, which circles the Sun in roughly the same orbit as Earth. OSIRIS-REx comes with advanced imaging and mapping tools. The explorer is expected to reach Bennu in August 2018 and begin a 2-year study of its physical features and chemical composition. According to scientists, the study of this sample may give more clues about the origins of life on Earth. In an exciting new study, scientists studying whales in Australia have gained rare images of a white calf swimming with its mother. The baby whale with its mother was spotted off the coast of Western Australia during an aerial survey using a drone. The white calf is rare as about only 5% of the species are born in this color. They darken to grey in their first year. The project makes use of drones to monitor whale populations and develop non-invasive conservation measures. During a massive de-addiction campaign, over 320 million cannabis and opium plants were destroyed in Himachal Pradesh over the recent 2 weeks.
We have uprooted the cannabis and opium from more than 2,000 hectares, which amounts to more than 32 crore plants. which shows the magnitude of the kind of the campaign we have taken.
The campaign, which included women and child volunteers along with government officials, uprooted cannabis and opium from more than 2,000 hectares. The step is expected to reduce drug menace in the state.
Today, Hindi has been adopted as official language in all the government offices in India. Still, science communication in Hindi remains an area which requires more thrust. In India, higher science education and training is largely based only on English, which often poses difficulties for talented students from rural areas whose basic science education has been in Hindi and are native Hindi speakers. It is also observed that most of the scientific programs are organized in English rather than Hindi. Now, under these circumstances, it becomes crucial to take definitive steps to promote Hindi as the medium of science communication.
You don't really understand something unless you can explain it to your grandmother. This was the motto of Albert Einstein, one of the most brilliant scientists the world has ever seen. The quote drives home one crucial point, that communication of science and technology is as important as research itself. Science communication is a tricky business which involves presenting complex concepts in a simple and easy to understand manner that engages common man without any scientific training. And what language could be better to spread science than one's mother tongue, in our case, Hindi? While smaller European countries like Czech Republic exclusively uses native language to communicate scientific research and education, why can't the same be promoted in India?
विज्ञान के लिए हमें जो सोच है वो हिंदी में ही बच्चा सोचता है, लेकिन प्राथमिक स्तर पर हमारे पास हिंदी और इंग्लिश की पुस्तकें मौजूद तो हैं, लेकिन विद्यार्थी ये सोचता है कि आगे चलकर जब हम किसी रोजगार के लिए अप्लाई करेंगे तो वहाँ पर हमारे जो स्वीकार्यता होगी वो इंग्लिश के समतुल्य होगी या नहीं, ये उसके विचार मन में चलता रहता है। और जब वो कहीं अप्लाई करता है किसी रोजगार के लिए तो अपने आप को ठगा सा महसूस करता है। तो हिंदी में प्राथमिक स्तर पर आज विज्ञान की पुस्तकें उपलब्ध तो हैं, लेकिन जब इसको रोजगार से जब तक नहीं जोड़ा जाएगा तब तक कोई भी हम ये कल्पना नहीं कर सकते हैं कि कोई विद्यार्थी सहज रूप से विज्ञान में हिंदी में कार्य करने के लिए आगे आएगा और प्रेरित होगा।
Hindi is the native language of majority of Indian population, and with the growing understanding that science should be communicated in a manner easily understandable to the public, past few years have seen increasing scientific literature being compiled in Hindi. Science communication in Hindi and development of technology are today playing mutualistic roles. Today, science magazines and newsletters like Vigyan Prasar's Dream 2047, Niscare's Vigyan Pragati, etc. are opening up new vistas in the area of science communication in Hindi.
इस दिशा में सबसे पहले तो महत्वपूर्ण है कि मौलिक विज्ञान लेखन का सृजन हो। लोग मौलिक रूप से विज्ञान में लिखने के लिए आगे आएं और पाठ्य पुस्तक में उनका समावेश हो। लोग जो आम बोलचाल की भाषा में शब्दों को प्रयोग करते हैं उनका प्रचलन हमारे रचनात्मक जो लेख हैं दिखाई दे, और जो रिसर्च स्टूडेंट कर रहे हैं उनको एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म मिले हिंदी में जहां पर वो अपनी बात को कह सकें, अपने अनुसंधान को प्रस्तुत कर सकें और उसकी स्वीकार्यता बढ़े।
Smartphones has also helped spread science using Hindi. A novel initiative in this context is the application developed by NCERT for students of 9th grade. While technology is contributing its share to popularize science and research in Hindi, there are few fundamental problems that need to be addressed while encouraging science popularization in Hindi. The first issue to deal with while promoting science popularization in Hindi would be promoting higher scientific and engineering education in Hindi. Experts have also pointed out to the need of promoting original scientific writing in Hindi rather than merely translating scientific literature from English. This calls for developing equivalent scientific and technological terminologies in Hindi and replenishing scientific vocabulary in Hindi. Indian experts are adept in English language and keeping up with the internationally accepted standards generally communicate scientific research in English. This calls for encouraging researchers and experts with writing skills to communicate research in Hindi.
Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. Do tell us how do you like our program. You can send your feedback and suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar C24, Kutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. Well, that is all for today. We'll be back with fresh news stories on science and technology again next week. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha TV and think scientific all the time. Thanks for watching.